Okay, this next question is to do with acids and alkalis and bases. First job, it wants us to balance the equation. So this is only affecting hydrogen and chlorine. So I'm going to look on these on this side. And I can see here that I need to have two chlorines. So to get two chlorines, I'm going to put a 2 there. Let's just check, because that would give me two hydrogens. And if I come over here, I've got 4 hydrogens, but I've got 2 here as well, so that gives me 4 as well. So 2 is the correct answer. It then says, what would you see happening? So this is a solid, so that's going to be insoluble. And here is a aqueous solution. So as I add this to the acid, this would disappear because it's going to form barium chloride and dissolve in the solution. So what would I see? I would see the solid would disappear. Okay, next little bit. So we've got a student here investigating practical. It wants us to say, name a piece of equipment that could be used to measure the pH that's more accurate. This is a popular question, and what we would use rather than universal indicator paper would be a pH meter or pH probe, because that would give us a digital reading of the pH that would be far more accurate. So explain step 3 why the mixture was stirred. So we could just check step 3 here. And it says we add the barium hydroxide and then we stir it. And this is just to help the chemicals are mixing and to help them to react. So here we can say, because it's 2 marks, so here we can say to help the chemicals mix. And why do we do that? Because this speeds up the reaction. We're going to get 1 mark for each statement. These papers often have questions that start with explain. So it's kind of, you give your reason and then you say why that's the right answer. Okay, plot a graph of this data. So this is a pH curve. Remember, when we do pH curves, we'd expect them to be kind of that kind of shape as a finished article. So I've actually done this ahead to save a little bit of time. So I've plotted all the points and I've got that correct here. So in terms of marks for this, you're going to get a mark for the points that are plotted correctly. So 1 mark for the points. You're going to get a second mark for the shape of the graph. So you get a second mark for the shape of the graph. And the third mark is, again, I think it's to do with the points. If we've got all of them done, then we get a third mark in there as well. Make sure when you do this, you get a nice smooth line of best fit. Sometimes you see it where students have done this kind of thing, it's all a bit wobbly and it loses its shape. Or sometimes you see this where we kind of get this going on. We just want one nice smooth line in order to do this correctly. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those because they're going to annoy me. Right, next little bit. Use the graph to find the pH when 4.5 spatulas were added. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come to the graph, and that point there is 4.5. So I'm going to take that point and I'm going to extend that up to where it meets the graph. And then I'm going to extend that across to the pH that comes out over here. Okay. And all I'm going to do from this is then get a reading of this. So it's 5. Now be careful, because each one of these little dots means work out the scale. So that's going to be a pH of 5.2. So as long as, if your graph is wrong, as long as you show them that you've gone to 4.5 and come up and come across, whatever answer you've got here, you'll get the marks for. So it's always a good idea to show them how you've got this value. Okay, last little bit, part C, describe